first thing I think we as developers need to focus today to gain trust of the people. So for trust, honesty is extremely important. Honesty and transparency in whatever we are doing, like starting from being very honest. If we have landowners on board, being very honest about the deal we are entering into, as well as about whatever we are giving to customers. बहुत openly crystal clear होना चाहिए. Should be no doubts, no ifs or buts at all. So it should be so open, and the communication has to go so well down the line also, so that customers can have that trust.
Today's podcast, we have with us Sofia, who is one of the directors from Metro Developers, one of the leading companies of Odisha. Welcome, Sofia. We are honored and privileged to have you over here. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, could you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Sofia Firdous, and I am into real estate primarily. I am currently one of the directors of Metro Group, and real estate is our main vertical. So we are a 30 years old company. So no doubt I had the advantage of getting the platform, and I ventured into this field immediately after my engineering 10 years back. So I'm lucky to having completed 10 years this year only. So now that we had a platform, and I was very passionate about real estate from day one. From childhood, you could say, because I was fascinated towards tall buildings and beautiful architectures. So it was inbuilt and ingrained in me that I have to come into real estate. And I didn't know what it was all about. It all looked very rosy from the outside. So when we stepped in 10 years back, if I see my company, yes, the approach of real estate, especially for the local players, was a bit unorganized, you can say. Because we were working with multiple of contractors, multiple laborers and masons directly as well earlier. And even there was no regulatory body to regulate us properly. We only had our internal SOPs in place. And luckily, I have seen very difficult phases in the 10 years, which is enabling me to shape my future and the future of this company. Be it the transition from pre-RERA to post-RERA, be it the GST era which came, or the COVID that we went through and we overcome. So the best part was that because I have been always a good student and very particular about my studies, and also when I came into this business, I wanted my field, my office, my sites to be very particular, which was not there at that point of time. I feel it's actually difficult to change the mindset of an existing company, of the existing people in the company, then forming a new company. When you form a new company, it's very easy. You come up with new people, new ideas, ideology and all. So it has been a difficult yet a very good journey, because I got support of so many people throughout my journey. And so when I started, because I started as a site engineer, because I'm a civil engineer by profession. My first 5 years were spent at the site level, when there was not even a proper site office. So so that's how I started. And when I did projects at that time, I always saw better projects, like we are an active member of CREDAI. Currently, I'm the East Zone Coordinator of CREDAI Women's Wing as well. So whenever I used to travel out and see good buildings, good projects, I always thought we will also do these kind of projects. So at this point of time, after 10 years, I can say that we have a very professional approach. Very young people, a lot of young people are working with us now. Because RERA came into force, it was a blessing for us. We got immediately compliant. We immediately adjusted to the new rules, be it in terms of quality, customer information, compliances and all. So now we have a lot of exciting projects already ongoing, as well as few launches that I'm very busy in, and which is, you can say, our dream projects to be launched.
Okay, thank you for your insights. However, I have worked in the real estate industry for 30 plus years across different geographical locations in India and the Middle East. And my perception is that more than 94% of the projects are not being able to be delivered on time with world-class quality, rather promised quality. What do you have to say about this?
Yes, why more than 95% projects were not being handed over on time? First of all, the fund management is a very important factor. You know, at this point of time, when I see real estate, the margins have gone down a lot. You know, we operate in very thin margins nowadays.
Yeah.
So our cash flow has to be very, very strong. So, and it has to be very stringently controlled. You cannot divert any funds initially. I have seen in our projects, I think we can only take out funds when the project is nearing completion.
Yeah.
So that is one of the reasons, you know, funds when they're diverted, so the project loses track of its progress and you cannot pay the people, the laborers working with you. And the project may at any point of time when there's a delay, then everybody gets demotivated, you know, along with your team, the laborers, masons. So you don't have that kind of control and trust once the project gets a bit delayed. Then you are just anxious to complete it on time by compromising on quality, by pushing on the progress only. That's one of the reasons of delay in projects. Moreover, choosing the proper people who will work with us, be it our in-house team, be it the contractors who will work with you, that has to be very diligently checked. The background check has to be done perfectly. The past projects has to be noted, and then proper assignment of contracts have to be done.
Correct.
So I believe that these were the major reasons. If there's anything you would like to add, then you can.
Yeah, very true. I mean, first of all, as I come from a work experience with the multinationals, basically, so what I can see in India, the first lagging factor is that we lag in the systems and processes. Not many of the companies actually have systems and processes. That is number one. And number two, as you have rightly pointed out, having the competent people on the board, because it's not everybody's cup of tea. Now, invest with CREDAI in picture, where a lot of compliances has to be made. By the way, after introduction of CREDAI itself, all the more than 50% of the developers vanished actually, because of the fact that they will not be able to comply with. And it's very nice to hear from you that you liked it and you have been working on to modify and accommodate to the rules set by the government. However, as a professional, it is our responsibility also to take our company to at least to the national level or world-class level. My point here is our people working in the Middle East, same people, the Middle East or Singapore, 75% are Indians who have made the Middle East, and same people are not being able to deliver in India. So from my perspective, I have three things: mindset, skill set, and tool set. So what you have to say about it?
Yes, we had a tough time getting good manpower, getting good people who will be with us in the company before COVID. But after COVID, I can say, and especially because of smart city mission and the way the tier 2 cities are developing, because of the initiatives of the state government. If I talk about Bhubaneswar, the demand of Bhubaneswar has gone up like anything. So, be it as a pollution-free city, be it green city, be it in terms of good infrastructure, good companies coming up, so the demand has gone up. So now we can see that shift. That's a slight shift. I can say 30-40% improvement. Before COVID, when good people working in good companies were not ready to relocate to Bhubaneswar. Now those people are wanting to come to Bhubaneswar. We have been able to give them good packages and get them here. So first of all, I believe because like you told, that systems and processes, because we are locally run, and unless the systems and processes are strong, and how can they be strong? It's only by getting people who have got expertise in this field, who have worked with good companies and have actually implemented and run the systems properly. So that has been a major focus right now, to get good people who can make the systems and ensure the SOPs are thoroughly followed first. So like you said, ODAs, if we take ODAs who are locally available and they do work in our site, they don't work, give that effort, and they don't work that sincerely how much they perform in maybe Bangalore or other places. So that is why labor movement and labor getting labors also has always been a cross thing, like we get from other states and our people go outside. ताकि घर पास नहीं रहेगा, बीवी बच्चे पास नहीं रहेंगे, they will work properly at the sites, they will not make excuses and go.
Yes.
So that trend is still there. Like we get people from West Bengal or Jharkhand mainly. There are Oda people, but they usually go out and work in South and all. So I really hope that this mentality shift happens and people start working sincerely in their own place only.
Very true. I mean, since India is a diverse place and culturally different, here in this point, I would like you to suggest always you have to make a mismatch, bring in some people from other states. Then they will not make these excuses. This is very true, actually. So shift a little bit here and there. And coming back to Bhubaneswar, it is one of the third plant cities in India. It is one of the best cities. And as you can see now, there are plenty of projects. So from the perspective of looking at taking the company to the national level or to the international level, just by the change of thought process, you can very well do it. Because according to me, this mind is an unexplored universe by which, by positive thinking or thinking big, you can think of multiplying your company's revenue 10x going forward. Why not? Everything starts from the thought process only. So what you have to say about it? It is time. I mean, if we can be number
Rightly
one in the
said.
IT.
And the thought process that we as management have,
Yeah.
that has to be very clear and transparent, and that has to penetrate deep into the lower level as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's very, very right. The approach that I take, like if you see my profiles on Twitter and other places, I always write empathetic real estate. I'm not here to just do real estate.
Yeah.
Because I'm a woman, I have that added advantage. I have this soft corner in me. I try to think for the customers. So the empathy is lacking in real estate.
Yeah.
And if I am able to percolate this within my team members, that you all have to be empathetic, then they will start thinking that they will deliver a good product for the customers. They will also work as a team with the other team members as well. So thought is very important, and the right penetration till the bottom is more important.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. What, according to you, think one secret behind the successful delivery of a project during your 10 years of experience? What you have learned? What is your say? One take.
I would say don't always think about profits, think about the product that will come out. Good quality product is most important. Because if you are in Tata, you know it very well. So I think hiring the right people to work for you on the site. If मैं सोचूंगी कि मुझे नहीं 100 रुपए 200 रुपए कम में मुझे ये कॉन्ट्रैक्टर लोकल कॉन्ट्रैक्टर मिल रहा है कि this person is ready to work, that's where I will lose 6 months of my time. You pay 100-200 rupees extra, you get a good contractor on board, you monitor them seriously, you let them work, get quality output from them. So don't always think about margins, think about delivering project quickly. That should be the return on investment should be very, very quick. So
very true. I think you have been very upfront and honest because most of the developers, when I talk, their focus is on sales. 80% of the corporate or company's perspective is for the sales. But the way you told, in fact, I also come from the same vision. आप सही product बनाओ. First time right approach. You make a good product, sales happens on its own. आपको sale के लिए भागना नहीं पड़ेगा. You don't have to run after. Nowadays, there are a lot of buyers. Everybody is looking for high-end properties. Everybody is looking for all the facilities. They are ready to pay. But product, we have to be product-centric. That is the perspective I am coming from. Very true,
And let me frankly tell you, those who have handed over projects after ERA, they understand the pain well. Because we have handed over a few projects after ERA. The defect liability clause is a very big thing on the developers. So you have to be very, very cautious on the quality of the product. There's no excuse. Otherwise, all your margins will go away in this 5 years by rectifying the defects.
Correct. Ultimately, your margin is the last 5% which is stuck, 5 to 10% which is stuck, right? That is what is the money. And most of the, engineers or employees or even project managers across I have seen, means in order to push the project, they compromise the quality. However, in doing that, there is a lot of breakups, rework, redo. Who is going to pay for the rework? There is no budget
Yes,
for the rework, right?
correct.
Yeah. So, I mean, coming from the perspective of budget preparation, what you have to say, how much percentage you are correct on preparing the budget itself? Because according to me, that is the area where a lot of developers make the mistake.
So
If you don't have
now,
a proper budget, how can you, I mean, strive for a profit, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So budget is very, very important, and don't always have a conservative approach in making budgets,
Mm.
because I have seen my budgets also in the previous project. We have been very conservative कि नहीं इसको इतने में ही रखना है. तो जानबूझ के the person who prepares, the planning person and all, they do it, undervalue the product. Eventually it shoots up.
Yeah.
I have seen escalation of 9% also in one of my projects after COVID.
Yeah.
So take all the escalations in mind for the next 5 years, whatever your project duration is. Ensure कि आप 2 या 3 times escalation आप ले लीजिए जो है, plus take little higher approach in the pricing as well. अभी हम जो last project का जो price है हम usually वही डाल देते थे.
Yes.
But
Yes.
now we are deliberately taking a hike of 15% from that price also,
Yeah.
as well as putting some contingency fund and escalation in the end.
Correct. Going forward, as the world is emerging towards technology, what you have to say about use of the modern technology in order to make the project effectively run or make it run faster? What's your take?
Yeah, I also believe that ERP is very, very important. There are a lot of good ERPs for real estate system as well. We are also using one ERP. It makes the system and processes very, very transparent.
Yeah.
Along with that, there are very lot of new things that are coming up, be it checking quality on site with Falcon Brick apps, or improving customer experience with various loyalty programs. So yes, as a company, we are very young and we are open to all kinds of new technologies.
Thank you very much for your inputs. Now I have been left with 2 more questions. Basically, what you have to say about the transparency in the industry? I mean, there is a question mark, trust building part of it. How you have to say about it?
Correct. So, honestly speaking, based on my long experience, that's the first thing I think we as developers need to focus today to gain trust of the people. So for trust, honesty is extremely important. Honesty and transparency in whatever we are doing, like starting from being very honest. If we have landowners on board, being very honest about the deal we are entering into, as well as about whatever we are giving to customers. बहुत openly crystal clear होना चाहिए. Should be no doubts, no ifs or buts at all. So it should be so open, and the communication has to go so well down the line also, so that customers can have that trust. Because trust deficit is something we hear even today, even with good developers also.
Yes. I think you are so true. I mean, thank you very much for being honest. Now,
so I'll just tell you about one of my experience. In one of our projects, there were a group of people who wanted a society and everything, So the point is, we as promoters, because when we also hand over the project, it becomes their property. So I felt somehow that it's so important to be honest in everywhere, because अगर कोई trouble होता है, then you don't get proper sleep. So in order to sleep nicely, go home and live peacefully. अगर हर deal में honesty नहीं होगा, open book नहीं होगा, so what is the point of doing business with so much stress? So we had a very good experience recently, which is a big example of transparency, where we supported the people. They wanted to form their own association. We then went ahead, we saw the rules and regulation, how it could be done, and gave it to them in a very nice way by disclosing everything about the projects and all. So जो developers नहीं बोलते हैं, चुप हो जाते हैं, सब चीज छुपाते हैं, तो उसमें ना वो trust deficit हो जाता है, आपको भी peaceful sleep नहीं मिलता है, वो भी परेशान करते हैं हमें.
Yes, you're so very right, basically. Now, last but not the least, what is your one-liner statement for the industry going forward? One-liner statement for the real estate industry in our country.
I believe there is one-liner. If I say, then it is ensure that we have empathy in real estate. So if we look at empathy, then it's you will deep dive into it, starting from your culture within the organization to your customers to everything will fall in place.
Yeah.
So I would say let's focus on empathy in real estate.
I think fair enough. I mean, maybe being a young leader, you have been very vocal and I mean, want to transform the industry, it looks like. So thank you very much for your time. Signing off for now. See you again.
Thank you, sir. I had a wonderful session with you.